Wait. Oh my god, yes! Rewind the tape!
And we are recording.
Hi
guys, welcome back to
Hello.
Wait, Rewind the Tape. This is your favorite podcast where we talk about our potential personality disorders openly and without any formal diagnoses. So also irresponsibly. Also, please do not listen to us.
That's why it's called a comedy podcast. Anything that's just ridiculous and really irresponsible is just labelled comedy.
But whenever I'm like doing something like, or when we were doing initial bios or things like that, I feel like such a fraud saying like comedy podcast as if it's so fucking hilarious and it's going to make every single person laugh. We're not
a single
funny.
laugh. Not a single laugh.
Not even a single cough. Just a swinging of doors as people leave and a faint boo. Oh, we're laughing non-stop.
You know the boo is coming from someone we definitely know. We're like, hey!
Yeah, come on!
Your ticket was free!
The boo is coming from us.
It's me.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's you. We frequently boo ourselves.
Oh, man.
On the pod. Anyway, yeah, so, comedy podcast. I was going to say... comedy.
It's because you're thinking comedy porn podcast, which is what we said we were, but we're not. We're just two sad girls. dot. Oh, we're women. We're women.
Two real sad women. Yeah. Yeah, true. When we had the porn, do you know what I was thinking about that today? I do not know how we managed to sit through recording back-to-back episodes.
Because, Natalie, the two of us, we've established our problem is we will put our hats on and just get through it. The helmets are on, we'll just get through it. That's just how we are. So we won't even, we don't even stop long enough. Not even the quality, our own health.
Yeah.
We were so tired.
And it was like, one more episode? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, we'll just do it.
Yeah, let's have another 10 p.m. Deliveroo. Feel sick and then just power through watching some more mediocre porn.
Because it just how we're built. No, the ones at the end were bad. But to be honest, like, that is the attitude I've really applied to a lot of my life. So power through the
your life by a lot of 10 p.m. Deliveroos.
Oh, honey, you have no idea. The worst is when I keep putting it off because I'm like, I don't know what I want. I'm going to be good. Then I end up ordering it like 11 to 12. Yeah. And stuff that's open is just the worst. And
it's terrible. Oh, well. You eat it, it arrives cold. It sits weird on your stomach because it's too late. It's already too late. And you were so hungry that then you weren't hungry anymore.
Yeah, exactly. By the time it gets there, you're like, I don't even want this. And it's trash. And now I've wasted my money. And all of it is just making me spiral into sadness. Do I eat it? Of course I do.
And I was already pretty far along the spiral.
Yeah, that's why I've been obsessing about a takeaway for 2 hours.
And then every time you check, you're like, oh no. It's now going to be 50 minutes for the restaurant I didn't even like. Have you ever ordered something and then like promptly fell asleep?
100%. Mm-hmm. You wake up to missed calls. You're like, oh my God, what happened last night? Oh, it's just me and the takeaway person. My bad.
Or I've had it where I've double ordered because I didn't think things gone through because I've been that drunk. Then I've fallen asleep. But then like Wolf and Jenny have opened the door and there's been like bags and bags of food. And I'm like, I didn't order this, but if it's here, I guess I'll eat it. And I'm just really, really drunk and they're just looking at me like, you sort your life out.
Get it together.
Yeah, this is a real mess.
That will be the day.
Yeah. Anyway. So, how was your week? Should we do a bit of how's your week before we go into the film?
My week this week was way more quiet because I had a big project that it's just in limbo. I'll talk to you about that afterwards because I really need your professional advice.
Okay.
I got an email on Friday and was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And now I understand why it's good to have an agency in between. Anyway, just my advice to anybody out there, just if you don't have an agency, stick to your set prices. It's so difficult when you're self-employed because you need the money. So when the cash is low, you slash your prices because you're like, I need something coming in, but it's just like also like, but am I working for nothing? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then my priorities as well are a bit skewed because I know it sounds ridiculous to people out there, but in my mind, like I have to finish what I'm working on. The music that I'm working on is so important to me, and I'm prioritizing something that doesn't make any money. And it's just like, but I'm not even prioritizing it. I'm just trying to allocate a bit of time to it. I'm like, I can't just work all the time and watch The Wire. I've started watching The Wire.
Ooh, I've never watched it. I've been told that it's amazing, and I would love
it.
Who? Quite a few people have told me. Not recently, mind. Why is it not?
Yeah. It's okay. So the first season is so difficult to get into because so it's like it's like a drug homicide type show, but the police are like such main characters. Yeah, and I hate the police, so I start watching it, and I'm like,
why? Am I going to have to drama?
I didn't know. I'm like, I don't like I get.
But it's called Wired. Is that not because it's like people have wires on them? And they're going undercover.
I didn't know.
You're like nickname. Coffee, drug, people are wired. I don't know.
Oh my God, that's a song by our old boss's band. Me and Natalie worked for a woman whose band. They had their song that I absolutely love. It's called Totally Wired. Totally Wired. It's a really good song.
Yeah.
It's a banger. The first time I heard it, I was. Oh God.
Anyway, back to The Wire.
The Wire. So at first I hated it, but I was like, I had it on as I was working. I just needed something on. So I wasn't paying 100% attention. But like the scenes of police brutality and stuff, it's just like, I don't care if that, I know it sounds crazy to people listening, but I'm like, I don't care if that 16-year-old boy just elbowed a policeman. I don't want to watch you sprint across the street to start kicking him on the floor. I don't care what he's done. I don't even care that, spoiler alert, he ends up doing terrible things. I was going to say, but I'm like, I genuinely don't care. I still don't want to see that. It's just like, who's the responsible adult here? Like, what is going on? Also, so once I got over that, I also don't like that thing where it's like, I know if I stick with it, I'm going to end up having some sort of, they use the N-word, like white people use the N-word a lot because it's realistic. Like it's a realistic show.
Right, yeah.
So it's just like, I just can't get used to it. I'm just like, oh. And then it sort of like shows in the second season, by the second season, I'm like more into it now. Like, I'm like, I need to watch The Wire. Randomly, like, don't watch The Wire. But it shows like basically cultural appropriation, how these two white boys are completely dressed up like in their modern day blackface, as I like to call it. They calling each other the N-word, and it's just like, there are so many people like that in real life. They're usually the guys that want to date me. They don't use the N-word in front of me, but still, they would. Why is this my life? I've only had one non-black person use the N-word in front of me, and they weren't white, but I got them together. I didn't even have to get them together in like an angry way. I was just like, you can't say that. You're not black. And that was like, I don't know they didn't know if that was an earth-shattering. I'm just like, I know you listen to a lot of black music and you seem to date a lot of black women and all your friends are black, but you are not black. End of story. Right. Sorry.
So The Wire.
I know I've had a few people say that, but anyway, let's not get into that. So The Wire, I'm kind of a bit more into it. I do like that one of the main characters, who is a psychopath, is a gay man, which I've not seen in other shows. But then you have to deal with like the derogatory language used for him, and that's a bit like, oh. And man, this makes me, I really feel for I'm always here for the addicts. I just feel for the addicts so much. It's just like, the addicts and the kids are just the real victims. As an adult, when you look at an entire system, you can't, I don't know, it's tricky. And then the real victims are like, the real victims are there were so many sweet kids.
Because because the adults are not it's not even like you can't say they're not taught to de-escalate. It's like you shouldn't have to be taught to it's just
not that it's not a police problem. That's the thing, it's just not a police problem. Like, there's a kid called, I'm going to spoil the whole show. There's a kid called Wallace who's played by Michael B. Jordan who gets shot at the end of season 1. Everyone knows this show is so old. I'm like, spoiler alert.
I don't know, but it's fine.
Oh shit, you would hate that show. That's why I'm surprised.
Why would I hate it?
Have you ever watched any shows involving drugs that you've enjoyed, like Boardwalk Empire?
No, but that's on my list. I mean, I watched Narcos. Everyone did.
I didn't watch Narcos. I know I'm like the only person who hasn't watched Narcos. I was just like,
I mean, Line of Duty isn't really about drugs so much.
Is that a war thing?
No, it's about corrupt police.
Okay, I didn't think you'd like a police show.
Oh
maybe
my god,
The
Line
Wire.
of Duty is so good.
Have you ever watched Luther?
Yeah, but too scary. So scary. Jenny and Wolf used to watch it, and then I'd sometimes watch it, but I'd get too scared, and then Wolf would scare me and say like, "Oh, check under your bed," or And now I'm scaring myself. So let's just stop. He's really nasty like that.
I wouldn't be able to deal with that because
I can't deal with that, and I get really worked up, and Jenny's like, "Stop it, Wolf," and he's like, "I'm not joking. I saw
what?
Something." Yes, and I'm like, "Are you fucking? I have to go upstairs and be on my own. Are you fucked up? Stop saying this kind of stuff." I have such an overactive imagination when it comes to things like this, and the only way that I then get to fall asleep or at least make like peace with myself is by watching some kind of shitty sitcom and having the TV on. Yeah.
We are one division. If you went into like a one division state, what sitcom do you think you would wake up in?
Good question. Oh, I don't know. It'd probably be something like The Office because that's what I kind of go back to all the time.
I'd be pissed if I would. I'd be like, "Are you kidding me?"
Well, I just don't think it would like. Or yeah, I think it would be something that's like that kind of offbeat kind of.
Yeah. I can see mine being like The Office would definitely come out.
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember the show Home Improvement?
Do I ever?
Yes. Cool. It's like, is that a normal show? I can't remember.
Yeah, I remember
okay, cool. Because I remember that being like I don't know, I just loved it. Just made me feel like whole. I loved that show, so I reckon it would be something like that.
It was about a wholesome family that was.
But they weren't like
But not a whole like the Brady Bunch. No, yeah, it was just like quite a cool family that were like cool, quote unquote. But and it was like
probably not cool.
Like 3 young boys, and
And I'm pretty sure I had a crush on 2 of the 3 or something.
Yeah, the old, definitely the middle one.
The middle one, it was the middle one.
Yeah, 100%. And then the older one, I don't think I've ever had a crush on, but I'm sure if I saw a picture, if I saw him now, he's either aged well, and I'd be like. Because obviously my tastes when I was younger were very skewed.
Yeah.
And now I can recognize like classically good-looking people.
Yeah.
True. But who knows? Yeah, maybe. Or it would be something maybe like fantastical. Oh God.
Knowing me, I would wake up and Keenan Kel in like a bathtub full of baked beans, like, of course.
Orange soda.
Being poured onto my head. I'm being like waterboarded.
For some reason I have like a rabbit bottle thing in my head, like filled with orange.
That makes sense. I used to always want to drink out of one of those. They made it look, like hamsters made it look so clean.
Yeah, they did, but
like
I
the way
think
they
it
changed
actually don't
them.
think it would be. When I was saying, yeah, something maybe a bit fantastical, but that wouldn't be quite like a sitcom. But last week we were talking about like fantasizing about being powerful.
Yes.
And I kind of gave quite a mundane analogy. I realize it's not quite so mundane because also sometimes in those situations, I'm not just walking down the street, with my life together. I have powers, like magical powers.
As soon as you said it, I imagined you were actually floating in like a long, I was going to say a floor-length leather jacket, but like from the sky to the pavement. And you're just floating along and your eyes are like white. Like
that sounds so fucking scary. No, it's probably more like, I don't know.
Someone's like, oh no, absolutely. And then you have to like come back out of your trance. And you're like, oh hi.
Just pop into the shops. Do you need anything? Yeah. So obviously I
have an idea for us, but I know we'll never do it.
Okay, go on. Well, we did the podcast, so
really think you're going to be like, what the hell? I really think we should make like a fantasy show that is one of those quote unquote kids shows, but it's not. It's just like it's family friendly for all ages, meaning that it can be absolutely terrible and no one can say anything to us.
Like a young adult thing,
but not
or a bit
really,
more kid.
Like I don't want to do like Twilight. I just want it to be like in the Once Upon a Time realm, but more like what's that film with Oprah in it? A Wrinkle in Time. That kind of.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it. Okay.
Me neither. I haven't seen the whole thing. I've just seen it.
Sure.
I've just seen the beginning. It started really well. I don't know why I didn't finish it.
I do want to watch it. It's got a good cast. Okay.
Amazing cast.
A TV series or a movie?
TV series.
It has to be because we're all about series. We're not big movie heads.
No, and then we can have short episodes. Yeah. And it's long in it, like it's enough space in between seasons that people can like point out all the things we did incorrectly on Twitter. We can be like, oh shit, yeah. We can fix it.
Like, well, we're not rectifying any of this.
You said in episode 2 that he was homeless when he was young, and then in episode 4,
right, all the continuity errors. You're like, well, he went back in time.
So there.
Yeah, well, he was homeless in a dream. So
that's what I'm talking about.
It was all a dream.
It starts off season 2. It was all a dream. I was like, these hoes have no idea what they're doing. It could be like
get it together.
Fun. Never. But because it's like a family show, no one can really say anything because they're not expecting it to be like ground.
Yeah.
But then we can get off all our bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know all the tropes.
We do know all the tropes. There are quite a few
mix it up a little bit.
Fantasy shows coming out on Netflix.
I think I saw the one that you were talking about before. that looks
Shadow and Bone. Yeah, it does look good.
Yeah,
Ben Barnes is in it, and he's really hot. I think he might be evil. Do you not think?
I don't know him.
He was.
I just heard hot and got excited.
Do you watch
I never
Westworld?
watched Narnia. Yes.
So he's the
pretty boy in
guy.
Westworld.
Yeah.
Love the bad guy in Westworld.
But he is. I never finished it, so no spoilers. As in season 1, I still because it was always like quite. I don't know, slow. So I'd always end up falling asleep. It was good, but I'd end up falling asleep and then have to rewatch things. And it just took me.
I was watching it in time, and then I forgot, and then I went back and watched. But it's worth watching.
I do need to go back.
Apparently, it loses its way.
Oh no!
It's so funny you say that. It was between Westworld and The Wire, and I thought I should start The Wire because I've been saying I watched The Wire for so long. But then after that, I'll finish Westworld.
Let's watch Shadow and Bone as well.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Yeah. Anyway,
next week's episode. So,
do I need a new season? What am I watching at the moment?
Where are you? I meant, where are you TV wise?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. What am I watching?
I haven't heard you mention anything. I didn't think you were watching anything.
No, because I think we did WandaVision, right? I started because I just couldn't. I didn't have the capacity to like pick up something new, I started watching Grown-ish on Disney Plus.
I want to watch that too, because
Yeah.
to be honest, the episodes I've seen, it's one of those shows where people, well, my sister loves Grown-ish, so I've watched it for some reason when she was fine. But it's one of those shows where some people think it's too like kind of cornyish and doesn't have a strong enough resolution. But I don't know, I can't remember his name. It's Kendrick something. What is that man's name?
Kenya Barris.
Oh my God, Kendrick. Basically, I've been listening to Kendrick Lamar non-stop. And now if your name begins with a K, your name is Kendrick.
Like Kendrick Kardashian. Is that all
Is it Kendrick Lemieux? No, Rue.
Oh
gosh.
Yeah, no, it's Kenya Barris.
I enjoy his shows.
Yeah,
I like them.
yeah. It's easy to watch.
I think they're funny.
It's that kind of thing where that's the kind of show that I would put on if I was feeling scared. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because you can just put it on. You're going to have some laughs. It's going to feel comforting, and you can fall asleep with the lovely blue glow of your laptop from which the demons are going to come out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I also feel like, just a general point, it's not okay. So what happens is, like, there'll be certain Black TV showmakers or filmmakers who seem to get all the budgets. So, and they'll maybe make very similar shows. And then I think people grow frustrated because they're like, oh, but where's the variety for like Black shows? But at the same time, it's like they're just people making what they make. It's not necessarily their fault that they've become like the only person in the room.
And because a lot of well, I won't say non-Black people, a lot of white people, you don't see the homogeneousness. No,
because they have so there's
the
like whatever you like. If you like a dark comedy, something silly, frivolous,
but
lifeless.
If one person makes the same thing all the time, which is very common in like white TV making and movie making, it doesn't that gets hidden because there's always so much other stuff. But with
and then it becomes more of a comedy thing because you can laugh at it, like you can put all the teen movies together and laugh at them because you do have other things. I mean, let's be honest, television and cinema it can be, most of it is just like, it's like any art, most of it is just frivolous.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, look, it's
also entertainment.
Watch, so I'd give it a go. What I don't understand is how they have a bar on campus and all the freshmen are drinking.
Okay. I don't care. I'm like, sir, do what you like. That is okay. I'm going to Google that because that is some fair question. Okay.
Because they'd get ID'd in the bars, and like if you weren't at 21, you wouldn't get served.
Drinking in Grownish. Oh no, I was thinking of Blackish, not Grownish. The fact that I'm confused in the shows is a mess.
But I mean, Blackish is. I prefer Blackish mostly because it's not about college. I mean, Grownish is fine. It's still
Grownish looks cute as hell. I've watched clips. And for some reason I got really into the cast interviews because I was just like, they're so adorable.
Oh my God, so adorable.
So sweet. They seem so sweet anyway.
They're not adorable that sounds bitchy. It's not like they're not adorable, but they're not like, oh, cute. They're all like
real people,
like super badass, and well, not really, because I'm like, I don't. At that age, who's walking around dressed like this? Like super styled out, super.
Uni was when I found my bag. That's when I got in my bag clothes wise.
But then it just is there. It's so styled, like coming off a shoot styled, with the hair done and the makeup done.
Oh my God, I will send you pictures. By the time we were in like second and third year, we really thought we were like rock stars. It's just like, sweetheart, you are failing a degree and everything you bought is
you're about to graduate next year
and second-hand stuff. Honey, get over yourself. But I was even thinking the other day about things I wish I still had, but they probably wouldn't fit me. I'm like, I wish I still had that dress. Why? So you can use it as a freaking leg warmer, please.
I don't know how we got into this. I think it's because I needed a new show. So
let me know what happens though, because it seems like a lot of like teen romance.
Grownish is very teen because it's based on like Zoe going to college, so it's not it's not aimed at our age, but because I watched Blackish, it's
the next step.
You can watch it. Yeah, exactly. So it's just easy to watch. Oh, and I'm watching Line of Duty, of course, but that's a weekly thing, so I can't just binge it because it's on actual TV. And that's just very stressful. It's really good, but it's just stressful. So many like twists and turns, but it's a cop show, so I don't think you'd like it. And it's about police corruption, like pretty bad police corruption.
I mean, you can't really make a show without
how are people
what is the point
write stuff like this? It's good, and there are like all these different twists and turns and plots and things all connected, and it's trying to find out who the real bent copper is. Well, they all are. Spoiler.
Shock.
But it's just the kind of things that these people are doing, and you hear about things. It's obvious. It happens in real life as well, which is obviously just horrific in itself. And I just wonder when people are writing things, and not just it isn't exclusive to Line of Duty, just anything where like something violent happens or people are getting abused and things like that, when it's not based on a true story. Sometimes I do think how somebody had to write this. Somebody had to think this plot line and think this story.
That stuff is so easy. That's the first thing that comes to you. I remember when I had to do my first, not funny, I'm sure I've told you this before on the podcast as well, when I was 14, and when you do GCSE drama, it's from 14 till 16. So it's like the first thing we all have to do is stand on the stage in the freaking auditorium. It's not an auditorium, it's a hall with a stage. Relax, Ruth. It was not an auditorium. You have to stand on the stage and do a monologue, whatever comes to your head. Improvise. I was a woman at an AA meeting who was recalling her childhood abuse. Like that's what came to me first. And as an adult, was yours as well?
No, I was a woman in a mental hospital.
There you go. It's what just naturally comes to you first. And as an adult now, I would never, that's not where I would go first. Firstly, like, what are you basing this on? You're just guessing what that experience would be like. That's a mess. Second of all, could you be any more insensitive to the room full of children that you have no idea what they've been through? What are you doing now?
I was just straight up plagiarizing from other movies. I can't remember what, but I know that it was like none of the lines were original.
Yeah.
I was mixing from all of the different traumatic scenes in television and movies.
Yeah. And somebody cried. I'm just remembering Zoe cried. No, she didn't call her by name, but she cried. What the hell was I saying? I cried too. I really wanted to bring it home. We get it, Ruth.
Yeah.
You've read books. Wow. Good for you.
Yeah.
But now I've told that story, I thought about it in a different way. It's going to become one of those stories that makes me cringe whenever I think about it. Oh my God, today I'll shut up after this because I'm talking too much. But when I went on my walk today, a memory came in my head that was so intense. It wasn't even that embarrassing, but I was so embarrassed about what I'd done. It was like a moment with a guy in front of his friends that I made me so cringe so much. I physically turned around and I was like, oh, and I had to walk in another way. I was trying to walk away from the memory. I was like, go away.
Oh God.
And I thought, God, if the neighbours see me, they must just think, who's this
person walking around, chopping and changing, holding her hands up, talking to herself?
I'm so sad that I want to read you this quote. I need to get alive. But until then, oh my God. Where is it? I left Kindle highlights. This is what's good about digital books. You can any moment you're like, I'm sure I highlighted a quote about this.
Oh, and then well, obviously it would just saves it in a highlight section or something.
It's nothing better than that to start the day serious work of beating back the past. I was like, that's a bar.
Beating back the
past.
The past.
I'll say past because no one can hear me when I say past.
Oh, I
It's
thought
like
you
an
said
actual-
past, and that's why I was like,
Uh,
huh?
Oh, it's like basically it's the part where she says to start the day serious work of beating back the past, because I was just like, wow, that is the day serious work.
Yeah.
You wake up and you're fresh, and the further you go into the day, then you're like, no, and it's just like do.
Yeah.
Shout out to Toni Morrison one.
Oh,
I mean, I'm not being funny, but I kind of get why she's seen as a literary genius. She's a really good writer.
Is this still beloved, or have you moved on
Of
to?
course, I haven't finished that book. God,
Oh.
I don't want to read all her books before I die, so I need to speed up. And I always think I'm going to die soon, so I'm like, I need to rush. I know I'm going to have a long life, but like, I don't want to be on my deathbed. Like, I didn't even finish that book.
Couldn't even finish Beloved. I had such high hopes this weekend of, blitzing through a load of reading. I just blitzed through Grownish.
Oh, I had to, because of my headache. I had to start. I'm so disappointed. I couldn't watch anything. I had to read. I couldn't even record music. I had to read.
Oh,
but oh my God,
I had a headache.
No, it's real. I feel bad for people with migraines when that shit.
Oh no, they're terrible. But I can't read if I have a migraine. I just have to lie in bed.
I took painkillers, but I get so bored of them when I lie in bed because I just feel like I've spent so much time alone and pondering that I now just find it tiresome. Like I've spent do you know how many hours I've spent sat in a room just by myself thinking? Hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
I'm just done. I'm sorry, but I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Anyway, shall we get to it?
Yeah, let's talk about the film.
Okay, so after much effort on all of our parts, really, we watched Josie and the Pussycats. And
the pussy twats, more like.
Yeah, not Josie and the Pussycat dolls, just the Pussycats.
Okay, that makes more sense to me in my mind. Is that what the film's really about?
No. So the film is based on a comic.
No, I know, I'm joking.
Okay. Well, to be honest, Ruth,
it would make sense though. What do you mean, to be honest? You don't think I've heard of Josie and the Pussycats? If not from the comics, hello, the cartoon. I love cartoons.
Yeah, fair. I never
I'm like
watched
a 4-year-old. I'm sick of this. Please tell me you watched The Wacky Races.
Yeah.
Captain Caveman.
Yeah.
Then I'm not worried about you. That's fine. What about Super Dog? What was it called? The dog that did karate.
That
was the.
I'm not familiar.
It had like a really catchy theme song. I'll have to find it later. That shit was dumb as fuck. And the one about the sharks that were detectives, that was actually one of the best shows ever. Sharky and George.
Oh, it rings a bell, but I didn't really watch it.
So good. Anyway, sorry. Back to Josie and the Pussycat dolls.
It would be amazing if it was based on the Pussycat dolls because it was filmed a lot before.
It's kind of their story, though.
The Pussycat dolls?
Yeah.
Oh, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, kind of, in that it was all about Nicole. But
it was 100% their story. They were a manufactured pop group. They were a group of dancers that were forced into a manufactured pop group, treated terribly by their label, and they had crack cocaine in their music. I'm certain. Ooh, baby. Like, how many times have you listened to Don't You? And you're like, why am I listening to this? Don't
And
you
I'm
wish
like,
your girlfriend was?
yeah, he probably does.
You in your mind, you're like, I'm obviously not. I hate that when songs are singing about like talking down on somebody
On women,
else,
yeah.
another woman,
Yeah.
woman, and instead of feeling like, yeah, I'm that bitch, and I'm singing along, you're like, this is about me.
I'm like, yeah.
I'm sure I've told you this. When Cardi B, every time she says your pussy stinks, I'm like, first of all, everyone's vagina smells pungent at times.
For God's sake, it's been a long day.
Let's smell yours then, since it smells so fucking delicious.
I bet yours isn't fucking femme fresh every day, all day. Jesus.
It took me a while to realize I really need to stop internalizing that. But then I was just like, yeah. But when some people say, I just find it funny. But for some reason, the way she says it, I'm like, I know, I can feel you're talking.
I'm already self-conscious about it. Can you say it a little bit quieter? God, I think somebody in the back didn't hear that Ruth Orio's pussy stinks.
Exactly. It's more one of those things where it's just like, I wasn't thinking about it until you said it. And now I'm like, does it?
Yeah, I'm like, do I need to get some products?
Absolutely not.
Well, what's in the songs? I don't know.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, guys, it's sensitive down there. Sorry, I just can't stop thinking about you shared a post at some point this year.
Oh my God, that's exactly what I thought of. That's what made me laugh. That's crazy.
Oh my God.
You better wash your vagina.
Yeah.
You better keep that flour cleansed.
Yeah. Just for the listeners' reference, although you probably know which post we're talking about because you follow us. And to confirm that Ruth and I are in fact thinking of the same one, it was a post about how the vagina is self-cleaning.
Yeah.
The vulva is not. Like, it's worth stating.
Just in case some of you aren't clean.
Yeah. You can't just be like, the vagina is self-cleaning, so I don't have to do anything. Like, that's probably why.
And that's why I haven't washed my ass in 7 years.
Listen, no one said anything about the rectal passage being self-cleaning, Ruth.
No, like, oh my God, my mum's routine, I'm sure, was it? No, her thing was more underarms.
Right.
But there are certain parts of your body that she was very like direct looking at you in the face, telling you have to be like, oh, okay. You're just like a child, like, okay, fine.
Aggressive, unnecessarily so. Yeah,
but it was necessary. Now I understand it's necessary. I'm going to be like, when you're little, you're like, I'll never be like this. My kids are going to get a diagram. Honey, you better be cleaning here, and here.
I'm going to give you a 12-step program.
Wash your feet.
I'm going to give you a timer. It'll be like the bleep test. When it goes, you get to move on to something else. Jesus, how did we get onto this?
Josie and the Pussycat Dolls.
Yeah.
What did you think of this film, honestly? It's HBO, first of all.
It celebrates its 20th anniversary this year. So
they had a reunion. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, me neither, but I did see it on my extensive Googling of how to fucking stream this film. In the end,
it came up so many times.
But none of the things worked for me.
No, because HBO Max, if it's on HBO Max, I reckon they've like cleared it off the internet.
Or it's just unavailable for streaming in the UK, and it got booted off Netflix UK in 2018. So eventually I just had to pony up and pay the £3.49 to rent it. Did I want to spend an extra £4 to own it? No, I fucking didn't.
Why would you own this? No shade.
You wouldn't. I'm not watching it again.
I don't think it's worth. Yeah. It's not as funny as I remember. It is funny, but it's just not as funny as I remember. I remember it being as funny as...
it wasn't one of the seminal movies of my childhood, of growing up, but it was something that we watched a number of times.
Same.
but I just, obviously it's something about it didn't click as much. Maybe, I wonder if it's like, this is really basic, like the lack of really like a strong thread of a love interest. Because it's not like it's just a suggestion of a love interest, I wonder if maybe when I was a
One of my
teenager,
notes,
that was something that would have been something I would have.
No, I think I enjoyed it when I was younger because I didn't think it was going to be good, and then it was actually hilarious. Like, it's my kind of humor.
I don't think I realized when I was younger that how much it just makes fun of itself.
Yeah, it's very silly.
Yeah. And
Alan M is the worst. We need to Alan M, and he has that
the soul patch.
I actually don't mind that if you've got other facial hair, but that on its own, what's it called?
What's it doing there? A soul patch?
A soul patch.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that makes me want to vomit.
Pretty sure.
Also, as an adult, this film is just too white for me because it's just like, how can you talk about a bunch of people in a lab making up culture when half of the things that you describe as quote unquote culture is cultural appropriation? Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going to start calling myself Hotepana.
They treat
Sorry, I didn't mean to shout for listeners. That's a bad bitch. Okay, I did not realise Rosario Dawson. When I was younger, everyone was like, oh my God, she's so hot. And I was like, is she? She's very pretty, but like, but now I'm like, oh my God, is she okay?
Yeah. And when
I grew up looking
age, amazing.
Yeah. I just didn't remember it like that. But she's so ridiculous. She looks like a doll.
Yeah,
but they all do. I guess
they all do. I think it annoyed me a lot that just how dumb they made Tara Reid's character.
Also, didn't realise that is basically Amanda Something's character in Mean Girls. That's literally like, did Tina Fey just watch this movie and take it, or is that just a trope that is needed? But I just feel like she was the original Weather Breast girl. I've never really got the really dumb blonde person on a woman. But when it's man, I always find it funny. Probably because I think men are dumb. I'm like, finally, someone's acknowledging it. Whereas on a woman, it's more like, okay, you're just trying to, women aren't that stupid.
Women are stupid. Yeah. Blonde women are stupid. It's just, I'm like, it's such a caricature.
But she was really sweet and she was fun.
Very sweet.
The dumb character can be really funny if done correctly. Like, there was some things that made me laugh, but like when when she's with Carson Daly and she's like hitting him with all of the things, but then at the end of the film she can do full martial arts. What the fuck? That was funny. I'm not gonna lie. Because I've always thought Carson Daly was a dick. And I've just always thought he's just so weird. He's like, am I going to regret saying all of this one day? Who cares? Ryan Seacrest. Like, he just gives me this like menacing vibe. What is your deal?
Yeah. Making lots of money off lots of other people.
Yeah, but it's just, I just don't believe that it's like he is the real life version of these like people. I just don't believe this character that you're portraying. Like, I'm just a super nice guy. There's something going on here, honey. I just feel like behind the scenes he's probably like a sociopath, kind of like what Ellen turned out to be. But I never suspected Ellen at all.
No, me neither. I don't think anybody did, unless you were, an
avid watcher.
Okay. I don't know. Even if you're an avid watcher, I
didn't see that much of Ellen. The only thing I saw were the kids like being cute, and some of the stuff she did that was messy. I just thought that all celebrity gossip shows are messy because they're trying to
they've got to do something that makes people a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, and also the very premise of like a whole like the idea of a celebrity is ridiculous. So obviously, whatever you're trying to get out of them is also going to be ridiculous. Because none of it's any of anybody's business and we shouldn't care anyway. So, what do you want from me? But here we are.
Just a little bit of time out to say that I think that often when a film is good, we don't talk about it. And we're not talking about Josie and the Pussycats a lot right now, but please don't mistake don't take that to mean that this film
that's
was
not fair. It's not a bad
film.
If you've never seen it, I think it's a film you should watch. It's not
I'm
a
not
bad
saying
film.
that, but it's like,
not a good
yeah,
film.
but same with How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. But like, we went deep in that,
Yeah.
and like, She's All That. But you know, in the good films and the
She's
good
All That
things,
is
we
a good
didn't
film.
really. You know what I mean? I'm just.
I'm joking.
I don't think I really had as much to say about this.
Yeah,
I just don't really feel like stuff happened.
Nothing happened.
Like,
it was
obviously so much
parody that didn't go deep enough. Okay,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, like, the MTV, is that a shot at MTV, or did MTV actually pay for that?
But that's to say, with all of I don't think the list that I have is even very exhaustive. But I also wondered, did they all know? They must have known what the film was about before.
Do you think they paid for that product placement?
Yeah.
Okay, so HBO funded the film about critiquing
product placement.
I don't.
Or they would have had to have permission.
Okay,
but that's what I'm like. It's.
I loved the McDonald's shower.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I'm a basic bitch. You can give me that anytime.
Those little washable sponges. They were cute. They were so cute.
Look at us selling people McDonald's. It's obviously worked.
Oh yeah, I just noted a lot of the things about, I think, the aesthetic, which it just really reminded me of the early noughties a lot, like hipster, low hipster trousers that don't have a top button, they just have a zip.
Yeah, because they're so low.
But you know that means that zip is just going to be flimsy as fuck. It's not going to last for very long, and it's just going to stop having any kind of integrity at all.
And I didn't understand those zips because I had pubic hair and underwear that wasn't that low. So I was like, how's this going to work? Oh, silly Ruth.
Oh, yeah, you've got to...
But now I think it'd be cute with a bush.
Do you think?
Yeah.
They're so 100%. Tight, though. They're so tight and so thin that you'd also see the bush probably through the fabric. You know?
I just meant like a little bush on top.
No, I get that, but the fabric is very just flimsy. All of the clothes I thought actually just looked cheap. They looked like the kind of like they'd been made on the day from fabric bought in a haberdashery. And I know that all fabric comes from haberdashery, whatever. But but that very was much like crafty haberdashery stuff.
I liked it. I like the haberdashery in real life.
No, I love going into it. That I love a haberdashery. But
then when you come home and
you come home with the fabric that you've bought and you're like, this is all gross. It is not wearable. It doesn't work. Why have I love
me some stretch lycra.
Oh God. That black, remember like the black lycra that had like the like metallic dots all over it? Like kind of yeah.
I was actually looking I was looking to get some purple the other day. Like it's like a purple black mesh, and then it's got like the like purple glitter on it. It's like, and then there's one which has like almost like the dots, but more like a raised part of like faux leather, like snake skin. Oh god!
Oh, the faux leather!
I know.
So much faux leather.
Faux leather is so pointless.
Yeah. And faux snakeskin. And just the bootleg cuts as well. That really brought back some memories.
really want some wide leg flares. Like I want them to be really fitted on the thigh, and then from the knee down, I just want them to be like
boom, yeah.
Yeah, and then I want them to be a little high waisted to hide my belly.
So more like more of a 70s.
Yeah,
than that 40s.
I would really love a really low rise, but it's just like
I don't understand how people in low rises, how you're not seeing people's like you said, underwear. Pubic hair, obviously, I get that can go. I mean, I guess you just don't have to wear underwear, but then where's everyone's cracks? Everyone got really small cracks.
My cracks show. Like, I bought some from a sample sale that are really, really, I thought they were really cool anyway. They're probably not. And I would wear them, and I'd have to wear them with a top that was fitted, and I could tuck into that, because inevitably, after 3 steps, my crack was up.
Yeah, how are they doing it when they've got all these like little handkerchief tops that are backless?
I think that they're just fitted so tightly that they won't come down. And I also think that you can't have any sort of fat on your bum or thighs. Basically, you have to be 0% body fat.
Yeah, and maybe they even tape them down.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
In movies, yeah.
Yeah.
So much, I shouldn't say bad, but it was just indicative of the times, and maybe it's not bad. The hair dye jobs. So much
Her hair dye
hair.
was so professional. Like, the actual main character, Josie's hair was so professional. But when she sat, like, when I was younger, I wouldn't have noticed that. But it's just like, no one who isn't a TV star has hair like this. That's not a normal dye job. That's like hours in the salon. That red hair.
Yeah, I mean, nobody that's working as she's working and like is getting like zero money for the gigs that she's doing is going to have like that. She would be doing a box dye.
Yeah, exactly.
And
they should have done a box dye. And then they should have got her when she had the makeover. They should have given her that hair. Yeah. God, who wrote this?
Yeah, because when they did the makeover, the hair, and she's sitting in the salon chair, and then she comes out, you're like, all that's changed is you've got some makeup on and a new wardrobe, but the hair feels the same. Or maybe it's a little bit more blown out and flicked out.
They tried to make a joke out of it, but they should have just given her an actual makeover. Tyra would never. She
also kind of had I feel like that's the Lainey Boggs cut, but just flipped out.
That is literally like Lainey Boggs a few years later. So it used to be like a really short, like kind of like a pixie style, but now it's just like longer and like more. Yeah, you're right. Literally just like more flicks out with more solid dye in it. Yeah, and everyone's going bright red.
In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Josie was actually Lainey Boggs in some kind of witness protection, or she just decided to reinvent herself completely. Because again, it's the same sort of kind of character, like quite arty.
It is her after she came out of her shell and she started playing music.
But this is before she gets the job as a journalist and starts writing how-to articles.
Why have I changed it to how to kill a guy in 30 days? That is not what we
30,
said.
Woo. Yeah.
Oh my God, I wrote down those bus passes aren't allowed because it annoyed me so much. You would not be allowed on a bus with a picture of 3 people in it.
Who are you? Unless you were all travelling together at the same time. And even then...
they would say no.
But they're also not going to allow that when you're getting your photo taken.
Yeah, exactly. So to anybody who hasn't seen it, it's just like each of the girls in the band has a picture of all 3 of them on their bus pass because they're the best of friends. But that's not allowed. They're so strict. They are so fucking strict.
It's a piece of identification. Of course, you're not going to be able to have multiple people. They don't even let babies be in pictures with their mothers on IDs.
Thank you. Where do they live? Riverdale Council would say, I don't think so.
Look, a whole lot of shady shit goes on in Riverdale.
Also, do you know who Babyface is? I'm pretty sure that's Babyface in the film. He's like a singer-songwriter.
Oh, no.
But he's like...
Sorry, I thought you were referencing a character on Riverdale.
No, he's just too big to have had... I was just like, is that fucking Babyface?
Who is Babyface?
It's insane. He's a singer-songwriter. I'm trying to think of an equivalent of who you would see in a show and be like, what the hell are you doing here? I'm pretty sure it was Babyface.
Google will tell us.
Oh my God, I can't believe how much I hated Alan M, the love interest. I really hated him.
Did you ever watch that show, Revenge?
Yes, is that him?
Yeah.
You're right. That was her brother or something, right?
What?
The girl who was getting revenge, wasn't that her brother?
No, it was just or unless he turned out to be a brother. I think he was just
her boyfriend.
He was the guy that lived next door who
Okay.
was her friend.
Whoever he is, I don't know.
Yeah, he's suddenly
the cover of Rolling Stone in a week was a mess, but I didn't realise, because I was like, I wrote down, how did they get the cover of the Rolling Stone after one single? And then they were like, isn't it strange? All of this is happening in a week. And then I was like, oh, okay. That's another thing. Like, all these films, it's always like a week, 10 days, a week. Like,
but at least this one called it out.
Yeah, because it's dumb. But there's only so many times I can watch them and get called out before I'm just like.
But it was supposed to be that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know what you mean.
I'm so over the week.
I thought why Fiona always looked like she was announcing the Hunger Games.
She is the best character. Her and her guy are the best characters.
Alan,
yeah.
I love Alan.
I thought she is the Hunger Games. I thought she was funny. She's also like in, who else is she? There's another character that I feel like is based off her later. Wow, the cultural impact of this film. Who knew?
Yeah, massive. I spied some headline articles, I think from this year, saying that it was ahead of its time. Yeah. I didn't click on them. You saw the same ones, but apparently maybe it did have some cultural impact.
It's definitely ahead of its time. The only thing is it just didn't go deep enough. A film like that now wouldn't. Well, I think
that's why we just don't have loads to say, because I don't feel like it's just a load of like some stuff happened, but it didn't the character development wasn't enough. The relationships, and for a film that's an hour and 38 minutes, I just kind of think, well, what are you doing? Like,
you're just making
it was like,
silly
let's
jokes.
just get through the plot line. Let's just get the story. This happened, rather than actually making it feel.
But the root of the plot was off, because it makes it sound like there is this whole like idea of manufactured pop music that just exists, and it's a load of people sitting in a room coming up with things and feeding them to the public. But that's not what happens. There are literally like all of that, like they're taking words like, oh, that's dope and stuff. That's why I hate when they do that in these films. They take these words and they make it like a cool young people thing, but it isn't. That is like a community who've made slang. That's their word. And you've taken it and now you're trying to say that you made it up. Like, even in theory, in a film, that is going to make me angry. Because all modern music has been taken from Black artists, mostly during segregated times. And the fact that you're talking about rock music, people think jazz, sorry, I'm off, it's too late. People think jazz music is the biggest fuss, but I think it's rock music, because the way white people rebranded rock music, I've never seen anything like it. To this day, they actually think that's their music. It's a mess. It's literally blues and funk. When Funkadelic were making music, it was called psychedelic funk. But when everybody else started doing it, when the Beatles make a psychedelic album, suddenly it's a different genre when it sounds the same. Are you kidding me? Wow, I've been...
holding on.
Listeners, I'm so sorry, but if you ever want to trigger me, just talk about music and how it's just been so whitewashed. And then they give themselves awards for it. And then when you log on to Sky and you go to the music section, there is a show that is like the history of music based on who's won awards. But if all the awards have only gone to white artists, that's not the history of music. That's just your whitewashed version of it. And this film is a product of that idea. And that is why it will never, like, it just doesn't hit for me, because I'm just like, your basis of what you're doing is off. And then if you want to take it into modern day and do a comparison with Travis Scott doing a collaboration with McDonald's, Travis Scott is a Black artist from Houston in America, does a collaboration with McDonald's. Oh, did you not hear about this? His burger was basically a quarter pounder with, I think, bacon on it.
Right. Because
that's like his order.
Okay.
And the kids went crazy. Natalie, a burger at McDonald's sold out. A burger sold out at McDonald's. It was like a huge thing. People were selling the burger on eBay.
Ew. What?
Exactly. Because they wanted the Travis Scott burger, even though it was just a quarter pounder with bacon on it.
Did they, as in like the packaging? Because it
No, I think
was
they were
cool
selling
packaging.
the actual burger. Let me check it. But yeah, so and then if you look at things like that, and then you would then think as an adult who maybe doesn't know the history of music, you'd be like, oh my God, then you would compare that kind of marketing gimmick to like saying that these trends and this music and these words are all being manufactured and they're being placed and they're being put into music. And I'm not saying that brands don't ever pay for product placement. I don't know. But then I was listening to a song that I used to love and I haven't listened to for ages. When A$AP Rocky was loving Raf Simons, he made a song called, it's not called that, but in the chorus he says, please don't touch my Raf. And the Raf Simons was like the thing at the time.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but then that's just another example of the cultural impact that a certain type of hip hop music has on mass consumers. That's not because they're being paid to, they're just talking about what they like. And you know what really irritates me? I'm off again. You then get people saying like, oh, all this music is shallow. It's shallow. It doesn't mean anything, because a lot of rappers will rap about Balenciaga now. Tell me why I was flicking through the stations the other day and that, not James Charles, what's that boy's name? He was on the X Factor. James something. He had a guitar. He makes guitar plays like music. Tell me why he's rapping about Balenciaga in his little guitar voice, with his hair slicked down and cut into a way that he looks more. I'm just like trying to like looking more quote unquote urban, talking about Balenciaga. Shut the hell up.
James Arthur?
James Arthur. James Arthur thinks he's Young Thug now. I'm sick of it. Yikes. And to somebody else who may have never heard that music or seen that music, they'll just see him and accept that. But he's actually literally taking something that probably other black people get criticised
like, oh, wow, he's doing something really new because they've never seen him do.
That's why I hate people who get excited by like, okay, you know those videos that go viral? It's like, white kid can really dance. I'm like, I don't get excited seeing someone who is white do something you like would never expect from them. It's like, why is that exciting? Why do you get more for that? Why do you go viral? Why are you amazing? You're on freaking Good Morning Britain. Everyone loves you. Oh, white supremacy, you can suck my fucking dick. That's all I have to say. Sorry about this, guys. It's just people are making money off things that other people get punished for.
Yeah.
And it just upsets me. And that's why Josie and the Pussycats is not the film I remember it to be. This is some bullshit. I do like that brand of comedy though, and I promise I'll stop talking. I'll talk too much. I hate when I talk too much.
But I wish they'd lent into that a bit more.
How could they? They don't have the depth. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I guess that's it.
That's why I'm surprised it's HBO.
Very like.
Some of it was funny though. I'm not going to lie. The boy band song about creeping in the back door.
Oh my God. I'll be your backdoor lover.
I was like, why do I like this song? Maybe they're right.
And also, it just made me think of like songs when you were a kid that were not at all about what you thought that they were about. And when you're singing
Spice
things.
Girls 2 Become One.
Yeah. And your parents or adults are just like,
I'm horny. And my mum was like, what? She didn't even know what to do. It's just like, you don't understand, but this is so weird.
She just keep with you like, I don't care. I'm horny.
It was the little girl next door who was like, in my mind at the time, she was like 2, but I don't actually know how old she was. But I mean, like, she was like little, like, barely speak. I'm horny. Yeah. And everyone was like, all the adults were like, and I knew it was naughty, so I was laughing. That's why I'll never forget, because I knew it was naughty, but I didn't know what it meant. And then when I was older, I was like, oh, okay.
Shit, yeah.
I could see why her mum and my mum were like, oh, I don't know what to do about this. Because at the end of the day, kids don't understand anywhere.
No.
Which is why you can let them listen to absolutely anything.
It's more when they just start singing it in public.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, at nursery. Oh,
my little brother went through a phase after R. Kelly's in prison. He would not stop singing I Believe I Can Fly. How do I explain to this little boy
Oh no!
I think he was like 4 at the time, or maybe 3. No, 4. How do I explain
good
to
God.
him? Every time he sang, my dad couldn't stop laughing because it's so awkward. He doesn't understand, and it's such an inspirational song
It really
lyrically.
is. Yeah.
So it's just like, how do I explain to you that?
If this is not a good song to sing anymore.
I'm not joking. He would not stop singing.
Oh. But is that after he'd been told not to sing it as well? Was it?
No, we never really said it.
Right. So
he
just enjoyed it. He just loved the bop.
Yeah, we just let him have it. And it was my dad who was just howling because I'm guessing my dad already knew. I obviously don't see my brothers that much. I know I'm a terrible person. But I was over for Christmas and then we're all sitting around and out of nowhere, I just was like, once, twice, and then I was like, okay, this needs I was just like, Dad, and he's like, what can I oh God, it's like, how do you explain to a kid that
well, you could, because then you have to be like, well, why is he in prison? You're like, well, why is he a bad man? You're like,
and you also, with kids, you know that in a few they have things that they'll just say over and over or do over and over, and then they just kind of, it fizzles out. So you just kind of like,
well, until they start getting laughed at, I think.
What, by other kids?
Well, I think things that stop kids from doing stuff, often, not all the time, but I think if you tell a kid don't do that, they're going to do it way more. That's not a deterrent. If you laugh at a kid, and I'm not saying you should do this because this is horrible, but like humiliation and shame, unfortunately, those are big things that most people then
101.
You heard it here first. When you could stop doing something, shame
humiliate.
Absolutely don't do that because it is horrible. But
it's
true. You should think, you could say to a kid, don't do that, don't do that. They'll keep doing it. They'll think it's really funny. Then they could go to school, do something, and another kid might, and you're trying to protect them by saying, don't do that, right? Because you know what's going to happen.
I'm not
necessarily saying in this context. I mean, like, say there's a little kid saying, I'm horny, like, if they go to school and say that, and another kid's like, do you know what that means? And that kid, she's going to be humiliated. And then,
not at that age. You're just worried about it's not about them. You're not protecting them. You're protecting yourself because you're worried about what other people will think of you.
Well, yeah.
If a 4-year-old is singing that, they'll be thinking, God, are they
Does
still
she
playing R. Kelly in the house?
This isn't, I don't condone
he
this.
He just knows the song.
I don't even know how. Oh
my God! Or you're thinking, God, do they? What kind of parents let their kids listen to "I'm horny"? Good.
So there's a time where it's hard to avoid on the radio.
No, that song was #1 in the whole country. Leave us alone.
Yeah, it was on
top of the pops.
Yeah. What can we talk about the obsession with like random weird body stickers and body art and not even good stuff?
I didn't even realise.
When Fiona just had those circles stuck on her.
Fiona wasn't okay though.
The understatement.
Yeah, Fiona had issues.
Yeah.
What do you that guy's switching from British to American accent was brilliant, but the whole like him having like being a white no, I don't mean being white underneath. Like his skin was like obviously like it was just a piece of that was just like unnecessary. It didn't further the joke, it confused me. But yeah, Fiona was a mess in general. I did at one point get upset because it's just like they're doing that thing that Disney did with Cruella. They're making it like an older, stylish woman. She's evil. It's just like, can she not just have weird things coming off her body and just have that? Those circles on stage.
That's when I was like, this is the Hunger Games.
That is such a... Do you think that's where they got that from?
Possibly, who knows at this stage? But they just everything about what she was wearing again, very, very crafty.
Yeah.
Just,
But
bits of fabric safety pinned together to another bit of fabric.
That was more like high-end fashion sample runway looks that get put in a cupboard crafty.
Yeah.
Like, they spent thousands, but it's still like, what the hell am I looking at?
Or, Central St. Martin's finale, final collection kind of thing. It's never going to see the light of day.
Yeah.
Apart from in a film called Josie and the Pussycat.
Just reminded me, I need to borrow a coat. Wow, I shouldn't be doing this right now. It's just my memory's so bad lately. If I don't write it down, I won't do it. And
then that awful stick-on flower glittery tattoo on her shoulder when, what's his face, Alan M was doing the chain on her dress.
Oh my God.
It didn't, it was brightly coloured. It didn't even go with the colour of her dress. No. Why was it there?
I think she was like supposed to be Mel B in the Spice Girls kind of vibe.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like, just like.
And what was with the tails? Those tails were ridiculous.
I'm sure I've had ears at some point.
Ears is one thing. A tail when it's not Halloween.
I've never had it. Who has it?
I had a tail, but it was when I was a kid, and the way that you make it was just getting like a pair of tights, and you stuff the tights with socks.
Yeah.
It's just a lumpy ass tail.
If you've never done that, listeners, you should do it. You should do it as an adult. Just have a tail.
Why not? Live life. See what it's like.
On the edge.
Just
my day in
house.
The tail.
Yeah, you can use one leg of the tight, the hosiery, to stuff the socks down, and then the other leg to tie around your waist so that you can walk around your house naked but with a tail. Because cats don't wear clothes.
Why am I going to do that? I can't wait.
Don't do it, really. In
Imagine
short,
myself as a cat.
It was
a film.
Okay. What did you think about the songs?
The songs stressed me out, except for the opening song, because that was funny.
The one about why? Because you're like, yes, I do know this 5 whole hours and 5 long hours and 6 whole days that you are referring to.
What 5 hours and 6 long days?
For like, it was
in the back.
No, that was great. No, the Josie and the Pussycat one.
Oh my God, okay. As soon as she said that,
to come undone. 4 hours and 6 all days.
You know what? Maybe that's not a bad song.
All your life to come undone.
I'm definitely going to look on YouTube after this to see if there are any acoustic covers, because you know there are.
100%. Please share one. Maybe that can be our reel of the week that we just never carried through. We're doing pretty bad.
I was on a break.
I was, no, it's fine. That was something
I was on a social media break, listeners,
to try and get some clippy clips.
Yeah, we'll catch up when we catch up.
Oh, and you're in for a whole treat.
Honey, it's going to be a mess. I'm just really feeling like going with the vibe of what's good for me right now. Which is,
I love that for you.
For me. Yeah, I'm really letting go and letting God, as they say.
Is that what they say? Letting go and letting
say
God?
It. No, say let go and let God. It's like I say, but I'm just like, well, maybe it's not a common saying outside of the church, and maybe I need to stop doing
let go and let God what? Let God do what?
Aha. That's the point you're not supposed to know. And to anybody who doesn't believe in God, I like to apply things to those atheists out there, because I feel like we should shout out the atheists too. I feel like they don't get any love, and I don't get why, because they're people too. And I was also thinking about today, like everyone technically believes in something, because we all believe in the miracle of life. So just that.
If it's a miracle to you.
Yeah, it is.
It's
not like our lives may not be a miracle. Just the fact that life has come to exist is just.
But people might not think like that's not something that you need to believe in because it's true. You can see it. It's not something that. Whether you believe that it's a miracle or whether you just accept it as a fact.
But when I say miracle, I mean the fact that it's just such a small chance that it all happened. Like, nobody knows how the Big Bang happened. It's nuts.
But yeah, I guess.
Whoa. Oh my God.
What?
You just like, your eyes and you blinked went in slow motion, and I also went lightheaded, so I don't know if that was real,
Oh
if
God.
it was a glitch, or if I just tripped out.
I'm scared.
Again, listeners, I've got sunstroke. I have no
Stay
idea.
inside.
No, but look, brown skin girl. I've been singing that to myself every time I look in the mirror. Don't know the words. Skin just like love. The best thing in the world. Maybe I do. I'll never change you for anybody else. Tonight we might fall in. Sorry, butchering the song.
What were you going to say about believing?
If you can see. Oh no, that's I believe. I can't. Natalie, you have to take over the show. Oh, but I can't remember. Oh, I was going to apply let go and let God to people who don't believe in God. Okay, right. So it's let go and let God. So the idea of just like letting go and letting the unknown.
Yeah.
Because as human beings, a big problem is you're always trying to stay in control, because it ultimately makes you feel like you can resist death, but you can't. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me.
It's coming.
Oh my God.
For you and you and you and me. And
for
also
you and me. Oh, cute. I'm so sorry, guys. I actually do have a fear of death that sometimes just will randomly hit me.
I think that's normal. I'm not saying.
It's good to be normal. I mean, it's good to. It's good to know that other people have the same sort of thoughts.
So another thing, going back to right at the beginning of the episode where it all started, and about how I think about having, powers, magical powers, not about being the prime minister or whatever, just powers. Sometimes I think that I could be in a situation where I'm going to like stop something unthinkable happening, or something terrible, a disaster.
Oh my God!
Or like protect somebody from getting hurt. No, not that I'm dead, but thanks.
Unbreakable.
Oh, Unbreakable. I guess kind of, but it's more like I'll imagine that there's like, I'll just be like, no, and then there'll be like a big like light all around me. But then when people talk about like when the witnesses give their account of it, they'll talk about like seeing an angel like behind me.
Okay. Love that.
Yeah.
I love that a lot.
And
we should put that in the show.
Yeah, shouldn't we?
Do you want to be in the show?
They don't see who else is going to want to be cast in this.
Can I be?
We can't afford anybody else.
Okay, we have to play all the roles.
Yeah, we do. I am both myself and the angel.
There's only two characters, a wayward officer and a nosy neighbour. That's like the whole cast.
And also the realmless celestial being.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing in me. So there you go.
Coming to a cinema near you. It won't be in the cinema, I don't know why I said that.
Did you ever watch Luther?
No, so I watched a few episodes because when I was at uni, it was like the show.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So when I was around my then boyfriend's house, him and all his friends would be watching it. So I watched a few episodes and it was good. But yeah, it kind of gave me the creeps.
Did it?
Kind of gave me the creeps. Luther.
Not Luther. Sorry, did I say Luther? I meant...
Yeah.
Sorry, Lucifer.
Oh, I watched one episode. I think it was the pilot episode.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I not that I don't know why I never went back to it. Like, I don't know why I watched the episode. I was on a plane.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
It wasn't like I meant, but it wasn't bad. It was quite funny.
Well, I never watched it, never wanted to watch it because I thought it would be too scary, but it's actually not at all scary.
No, it's a comedy.
Basically.
It's a comedy of errors. It's a silly show.
Yeah. Oh, no, I think I didn't want to watch it because I didn't want to... For all the things that I watch, this reason is such a fucking dumb reason. I didn't want to watch it because I felt like it was glorifying the devil.
No, that's understandable. It's
But
something
it's
that's
not
been
even
ingrained in us.
or glorifying him, glorifying evil. But
No, I
obviously,
know,
it's not
because
at all about.
yeah, it's
But
really
then I
not.
watched like fucking Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which is all about like
No,
literally
but that's
worship
about
the devil.
that's about magic.
Oh, magical.
That's different.
Yeah.
But I
True,
know what you mean. Is sometimes you get into this. I resist that all the time. I try and think about it like we've all been raised in some form of religion, and how people choose to use religious imagery is completely up to them, because it's not your choice. You get, like, everyone has to be in it. So even if it's something you entirely reject, it's going to be in, you're going to have imagery, you're going to imagine it from different perspectives. Like, it's just going to be like that. And also, I always think, like, not always, but there was one day I was like, but like, he made one mistake and he was cast down to hell. Isn't that a bit extreme?
very extreme.
But then I'm like, I can't remember what he did. Didn't he try and kill God?
Did he? I thought that he had sex with a woman.
No, he tried to imitate God or something. The fact that we don't know is hilarious.
Of course, yeah.
No, he tried to like imitate God, and then he was cast down. So I don't know what he did, but it just, like pre-Jesus, the Bible was kind of harsh.
Yeah, it was.
But it's not just the Bible. Like loads of like almost, I feel like almost all religions have like a devil, an evil. You will fly an angel's
I don't know. Does Judaism?
Yeah, because that's just Christianity, Old Testament.
But they don't believe in heaven.
How's that? Are you not thinking? I always
no.
If I don't know where something's from, I'm like, is that Jehovah's Witnesses? Oh God, I don't know what they believe in. I just know that Jehovah's Witnesses, traditionally, not all of them, reject blood transfusions, but that's also basically Christianity, but a remix.
There's a lot of remixes
from one book. It's crazy. No two people believe the same thing, so the idea that a bunch of people sitting in a room just because they're all in the same room believe the same thing is just a myth. You will fly an angel's wings.
What's that song?
Sorry, I'm singing a song.
From?
It's from school. It was like an extracurricular choir thing that we had to do. They were like, so they're doing this play. All the different schools from Birmingham have been asked to contribute people for the choir. You guys are doing it. Here are the songs to learn. Those songs are so catchy to this day are in my head. It was such a weird thing. And it was also weird because it was like in the church, like one of the biggest churches in Birmingham that I used to go to. But when I was at school, I didn't tell anybody I went to church. And I was just like, I'm literally in my church. I didn't even know it was here. How weird. God, it used to be so weird having to lie to people where I was on Sundays. I was a strange child.
Well, because very few people at school went to church.
Yeah, but as I've gotten older, I've also realised that is not true. Loads of kids, not regularly, but like loads of kids were forced to be religious, whether they were or not. Like it was.
Yeah, but it was a kind of religion where it's like, well, we'll go for like Christingle, or we'll go for. We're not. Yeah, it isn't. We go every Sunday.
And it's also
read the Bible every day.
Yeah, but it's just so silly that I was like, oh my God. It's just like
I was so embarrassed about it.
And then I made some of my friends that I was friends with two of them were actually like Christian, they'd go to church and stuff. And when my other friends weren't around, I remember this is something I still feel kind of weird about. We were talking about it because it was around the time we were talking about different types of music and stuff. And there was like, you know, to this day, there's some Christian slaps, like songs I love, and we're talking about those songs. And I'm like, I can't believe you know this, da, da, da. And these are the people that we have lunch with every day. We're just two friendship groups that have lunch every day. It's just my other friends weren't there. Then my other friends came back, and one of them was trying to talk to me about it, and I was just like, can you not?
Yeah.
But it's just in my mind now, it's so silly that I was embarrassed, because it's just like, first of all, if these are your friends, why would you care? That's not a friend. Second of all, literally, like, you see these people why is their opinion of these like, who cares? What do you think they're going to say? Like, oh my God, I'm never going to speak to you again. Like, what? Oh, being a child was so dumb.
Wasn't it? Wasn't it
Years.
just?
Shout out to all the kids who hid their religion through school.
Yeah.
I know there's loads. Like, of
well,
all
also
faiths.
strange because I went to a secular school, but like, why are we singing hymns still, and why do we go to a church to have all of our?
That's what I mean. We live in a religious country, whether we like it or not.
Yeah,
everybody does. I feel like every country has a religion. Has any country really let go of religion?
The religion of this country is literally called after the country, Church of England.
Oh, you are so right.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Dear. Do you know what? I do know what I've been watching. Speaking of God. So I spied a new addition to Amazon. Aidan Turner is in it, who I love. And it's obviously a period drama. It was called Leonardo.
I was going to say it's called Pale Boy Extra. And wins awards. That's not what it's called.
It is about Leonardo da Vinci. Jesus.
I thought you were doing the Kendrick Lamar thing, because it was like a completely different Leonardo.
I was going to be like, with the Medicis, they're like De Medici, so I was about to say Da Vinci. Damn it, the D is already in it. Fuck. Anyway, yeah. So obviously smashed all the way through that.
How was it? He's a good actor. I know that's a dumb thing to say,
actor, and it's about like, I just honestly, I love, you know me, I bloody love a period drama, and I love watching. I think there's something about Italy as well, and like the history, and it makes for good period dramatization, like the Medicis.
I'm like The Godfather, because I love that.
I mean, quite a few centuries before. And I love Florence. So, yeah, I mean, it was good.
To me, Florence is where you go to go shopping. One of the destinations. There's a few places my mum used to go shopping. Florence, Naples, and somewhere that I can't remember. Get good gold. Shout out to all the Nigerians who are like,
what is it that you are buying in these places? But yeah, actually, Florence is well known for jewelry, isn't it?
I never went.
It
was just like,
gorgeous.
Bye kids, I'm off.
Just picking up some gold, not for you.
Don't worry about it, it's none of your business. Bye.
So obviously, I don't know when I'm like, I've not been watching anything. Yeah, I have.
I've watched 7 shows.
Specifically directed at teenagers. 2 seasons worth, and a whole season of a bloody Italian period drama.
Was that good? Would you recommend?
Yeah.
That wasn't convincing. I'm not going to watch it.
Well, I don't have a a gauge for what you like in the period drama sphere.
To be honest, I used to like romances.
Yeah.
And then in terms of what I like on television, I used to like historical romances, like clean cut romance, like actual romance, not dating, falling in love, silly me, silly you. Like if I wanted that, I'd read my diary. I'm talking real love.
Read my Twitter.
Thank you.
You mean love. Like Pride and Prejudice style?
Yeah, I used to eat that shit up. And then I love anything about gangsters and the underworld. I love it.
Like the underworld of society as opposed to Hades' underworld.
No, I thought that when I said it as well, because that's kind of accurate. Yeah,
because I would both mythological and non-mythological.
Yes, and I like fantasy with a little bit of war. I don't like real war. I hate real war. Never give me.
I don't watch. Not any real war period dramas like World Wars. I don't like that. I do like stuff about monarchies though, which is probably quite problematic.
Yeah, preferably. I don't watch Egyptian monarchy stuff because I always feel like they whitewash it and it stresses me out. But I like
All my period dramas
British.
are whitewashed because it's all just British. It's all just European.
No, but I don't mind if they're showing me a historically accurate thing. I'm like, don't change what really happened. Like you're saying, oh no, but we can't put black people or in fact, we can't put non-white people in this because, it was just a different time. There was nobody around, which is usually a lie, but whatever. Okay, you've got it. And then they're like, oh no, but we don't really know what the Egyptians really look like. I'm pretty sure we know. Honey.
We know, yeah.
I'm pretty sure they don't look like you. But okay. No, but even in the reconstruction, there's a reconstruction of it's not Tutankhamun. Who's the other big cheese? Who cares? I'm sorry, I don't care. They reconstructed someone's face. It was a pharaoh, and they made him white. And everyone was like, "You can't." He
wouldn't have been.
Why are you doing this? This is confusing.
Yeah, do Egyptians currently look white? I mean,
some are very light skinned, but they still don't look white now.
Yeah,
like I'm thinking of the lightest skinned Egyptian man I ever knew. He was British, but his parents were Egyptian. He was so beautiful, but not in a sexually attractive way. Just like you're just nice to look at. Honestly, he was the nicest guy. Random, very random, nothing to do with the fact that he's Egyptian. But I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we don't know that he's nice because he's Egyptian. I'm not saying all Egyptian people are nice. I feel like no group of people are. Okay, yeah, sorry.
In any one group of people, they're going to be terrible people and wonderful people. Yeah.
I don't know what you want. But he's a really nice guy. I'm just saying that as a side note. I'm just remembering how nice he was. But yeah, he was the lightest skinned Egyptian person I've ever met. And he didn't look white at all. And he literally had blue eyes. And he didn't look white at all. Oh, God.
I don't know any Egyptian period dramas anyway.
Just the
what do you mean, like the Mummy franchise? Is that what we're talking about?
No, there was one recently with the guy who's Egyptian. I don't think that one was that whitewashed, but I still wasn't on it. He was he also played Freddie Mercury. I think he was I was gonna say iRobot.
Rami Malek.
I don't know, but he's very good looking and he's a very good actor. Mm-hmm. Like he was in one, there's loads of them. They're like the Tudors, but they just make them about mummies. Sorry, I don't know why I'm doing this to my arms right now.
God, I need to get on it.
You're updating your list. Things I must watch immediately.
Well, I feel like I need to branch out so it's not just so Eurocentric or European monarchies or European
Good luck, sweetie.
I know, yeah.
But it's also, it is what it is. I've realised everything I watch is about I want to say quote unquote gangsters, but it's about illegal trafficking of some sort, fictional illegal trafficking. Like obviously I'm watching The Wire. Snowfall season finale, to those who watched Snowfall.
I've never even heard of it.
Now I know that you like police stuff, you might like it. It's not from the perspective of the police. It's the CIA. Say that
I love police stuff.
I thought you would hate it, so I wouldn't have even recommended it for you. It's like about
the bill, so
The bill is like, oh no, the bill.
There were like three things that always we watched: The Bill, Casualty, and London's Burning. So we really hit up the emergency services.
The Bill was so boring. I hated it.
It was terrible, and it had the same people in. Well, obviously people came and went, but as in all of those things, or in any soap, you could turn it on now, and there would be a handful of characters that would still be there.
100%. Charlie,
yeah, Casualty.
But Casualty, can I just say?
Do you remember when Baz died?
Show. I don't remember.
Spoiler alert, guys. Baz, Charlie's
wife. Spoiler for Casualty.
for Casualty circa 20 years ago.
I remember when she died.
That was really shocking.
What happened to Barney? The male nurse?
Honestly,
the fact
Charlie
that he
was the male nurse.
No, but Charlie was like a higher upper.
Right, yeah. Okay.
He wasn't like on the shop floor, as I like to call it.
on the
So
wards.
I'm sorry to anyone who works in emergency services. Like, are you
Yeah,
seriously
especially
comparing
at
what we
this
do to working
time.
in a shop? I don't know.
We're really shout out to the frontline workers and NHS workers.
Yeah,
You've been holding this country together.
And actually, yeah, because people who work in Tesco and stuff have been going through it.
Yeah.
People, oh God, remember when people were like, not looting. Sorry, looting is when you don't pay. Hoarding, they were looting but paying. Yeah, hoarding, that's what you
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just stockpiling.
Yeah.
I can't believe
Have you seen
go on.
America going back to normal again?
Don't. It's just
yeah.
But it's been like that, I feel like, in America for quite a while. And it's just, I think it's because they just don't care. And it does vary quite a lot state to state, but I just don't think that there is less of a, I don't know, a community.
I don't think
feeling
that's
it's more. Well, I think in some groups there is, and speaking to some people, that's what they say about themselves.
Are you talking about? I'm talking about the police brutality killings. Are you talking about?
Oh my god, no! I'm talking about people just going out of a lockdown and doing their own thing and not.
I don't think but that's not all. I don't know if that's individual responsibility, because in some states they've just been open the whole time. So what do you think is going to happen?
Well, yeah. But no, oh god, the police brutality is.
I'm sure it hasn't picked up.
I just don't know if it's because it feels like it has, but maybe it's just because it's being reported on.
Yeah, and it's probably been the same
this level. Yeah,
and it's the fact that the person who was just killed was a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah,
or was she 15?
I think she was 16, but
it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's horrific.
And this is so random, but for me, I never said anything. Okay, do you know the rapper DMX?
Yes.
So he passed away. I'm not sure if we talked about it on this show, but there was clips from the funeral that I was watching. Just watching clips from the funeral. Rest in peace, DMX. I love your music. Love your vibe. And literally made me cry. I knew I shouldn't watch them. I never watch funerals because I get all emotional. But there was just some of the stuff they were saying about Swiss Beats. I don't know if you know him.
I think you've spoken to me about him.
Yeah, he's a pretty big producer.
Was Alicia Keys?
Yeah. Every time they come up, I want to talk about the gossip side, but I'm just like, mind your business. You don't even care anyway. You're just saying it because you know other people will be thinking it. You don't care on an individual level. I'm trying to stop doing that. I'm like, let me mention this because I know people out there will be, no, who cares? I don't care what they think. I don't think the same.
Okay, wow.
He was talking about, I'm just being real. The people who think like me will also be like, Ruth, shut up. He was talking about imagine this being said at a funeral, basically talking about how, when people die, everyone changes and they start arguing over money, and people you've never known come out the woodworks and all this. Basically, that's happening. And he was talking about how it's important to have a will and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have your affairs in order? Sorry, I know this is a morbid question.
Absolutely not. And Jenny's always like, I have a will that is pretty shitty. Like when we bought the house, I kind of I just had to.
Yeah, you have to.
But it's not. I really need to revise it because, since I wrote it, things have definitely
changed in your life.
Yeah, things have changed. Yeah, there's stuff that needs to be considered and needs to be accounted for. My affairs are absolutely not in order, but they need to.
How often are you supposed to do it? Because I'm thinking I'm going to say to myself every December, because obviously I don't own anything, so I don't think about it much. But there's small things. I made a list of my music and stuff and who owns what and all my logins, but I haven't given it to anybody. So
I guess you just have it in a
in case I die,
an envelope, But the thing is, you don't want it all in one place because if it's passwords and stuff, that's
and it's going to change every year.
Yeah.
So it's just annoying. I'm more concerned about who has control. Who owns the music, or who has control to use it for what? Which is such a silly thing because who will want it? But you never know. Stuff like that stresses me out.
Yeah, well, that's a good good to review it every December, I guess.
I'm not going to do it.
Freaking do.
I'm telling you now, I'm not going to do it. You need to do yours.
I do, but then it's just like I have to think about all the things that I would have that are worth anything or even not worth something, but I would still want to go to somebody.
Yeah.
And also,
and your animals
going to look after Brody and Mango, and there's a lot to think about.
For a girl that actually, like, obviously didn't do well in many modules, but actually did well in equity and trust, I'm sitting here trying to think what I remember. I don't remember jack shit. I don't remember a goddamn thing. Oh well. The winner takes it all. That is a life lesson. That song slaps. Shout out to ABBA.
Standing small. Oh my God, ABBA, banger after banger after banger.
Yeah. ABBA actually did that thing. I think ABBA are who people think the Beatles are. Like, do you know what I mean? I think it's really
like the
ABBA.
real deal.
Yeah, who really should be celebrated amongst the Caucasians. I think it's ABBA.
Yeah.
But I was also, Yesterday is a banger. No, I'm not going to disrespect that song because that song goes. I know it's not for everyone.
I definitely would rather sit it down and listen to
ABBA than the
like
Beatles.
ABBA Gold than a Beatles thing.
ABBA Gold is a classic. Yeah,
I'd rather.
But that says a lot about us, I think. I don't think that says a lot about the music.
No, true. Yeah, but
no, the Beatles do have some good music. I know that sounds crazy
to say
like that.
I think I'd probably rather be. I think the people that I'm friends with are also the people that would rather have ABBA than the Beatles. I feel like that,
if we're being real, that just means you grew up in this country, because have you ever gone to like a pub night or something like that and you've not heard ABBA? Like, that's never happened.
But the Beatles are from this country.
My cousin is trying to... No, I know, but it's just more like, you know what? You're not going to the pub and hearing freaking... I don't even know what night. Oh no, you are actually. You're right.
Yellow Submarine.
There was a time I did.
Oh.
No, but they're not the songs I like.
That's a banger though.
It's been a hard day's night. I do like that song. I like it. I was thinking more. What's that fucking song? Da 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 da. It's like that. Come Together. I'm like, what's the Beatles' biggest song?
Wow.
I can't remember.
I did not get Come Together from that, but yeah, that's, fine.
The verses are what goes. The chorus is that climactic come together right now. Don't like it. It's the da 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 da. It's the bit that sounds like a real bluesy.
I'm sorry. I would much rather
Wow,
hear...
why are we doing this?
Gimme.
Oh man, are you crazy? I want to go and dance right now.
Don't even, because I will.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Dancing Queen? Are you crazy? Natalie is
all your love on me.
But I've never seen the film or the musical, and I don't think I ever want to, ever in my life. Mamma Mia.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like that was why ABBA wrote the music.
True.
For which we thank
Speaking
you for,
of the
ABBA.
music, thank you. Oh, we love it. We love it. No, they do. It's hard to have that many hits. Come on. But my brother hates ABBA for that reason. He reminds him of like being in like a pub and everyone's drank too much and you're not that drunk and everyone puts their arms around you and you just like go away.
You know what you got to do? Grab yourself, pick up any drink and any table that's still at least half full and neck it.
Oh
no, I don't do that. Don't ever do that.
Now I've got brown-eyed girl in my head. It's just unrelated, but that's what that reminds me of. It doesn't remind me, being in that kind of pub doesn't remind me of ABBA. It reminds me of brown-eyed girl.
And then some twat looks at you, is like, you got brown eyes. And you're like, get away from me.
It's all fun and games until someone physically picks you up, and then you're like, okay, now I have to go
Yeah.
home.
Meanwhile, like you're looking at the guy that you actually like, and you're like blinking. Does he notice I've got brown eyes? No, he doesn't. But all the fucking drunk ass guys over there do.
I have never in my life gone into a pub like that and seen a guy that I thought was good looking. He was even acknowledged that I'm alive. It's like the one place I'm just like completely ugly. I'm like, why am I here?
Have you walked into a pub where you've seen a guy that was good looking that you would have wanted to acknowledge you? Or do you...
No, I have.
Right.
But it rarely ever happens. It very rarely ever happens. I've also walked into a pub, which was a local pub. I'm sure I've told this story here, where I didn't realise I was like known, even though obviously thinking about it now as an adult, and not to say, I don't think I was underage. I think I was 17, about 18, which in round it, that's not underage, that's like old. So I walk into this pub, and as I walk down the stairs, a load of men boys, you know what I mean, and males that I recognise two of them start singing a song, you know that song, the roof is on fire. That was more intimidating than any, like being acknowledged in that way. I was like, are they making fun of me, or are they happy that
it's like, yeah, Ruth's here, come on over.
I'm like, is this a prank? Yeah, it was so scary because I had to go all the way down the stairs, like trying to play along, like I'm cool with this, but really I just wanted to turn around and leave.
Yeah.
And then they were shouting, we don't need no water, let the mother, and I was just like, oh my God.
Oh.
But they were smiling and laughing, and I was so scared.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good. Like, why can there not be a less aggressive song with my name in it?
That is kind of. It's either that or people sing Rufio, which I used to love. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be like Rufio, yeah.
Right.
I'm like starting it myself. Rufio. Yeah. Who said that? Rufio.
Yeah, like Rufio.
I used to want to incorporate a chant into my music, but I told my brother the idea. He was like, "Don't ever in your life do that."
Well, like, when I say Ruth, you say Ear.
No, but if you think I'm not using that is great. I want to tell the listeners that I messaged Natalie the other day, and I was like, can I sample you in a song? I can't even remember how I said it. And before I'd even
said Natalie ... That's
how I brace people for things.
Okay,
so I think if I say that, they'll think it's bad, and then whatever I say, even if it is bad, it won't seem as bad. It's a tactic I learned for asking my dad for money.
Mm-hmm.
Dad, what?
Yeah, you're already setting them up for knowing that something's coming.
And he's always going to say no, but I'll get it eventually. Wow.
All thanks to the ...
I'm so sorry, Dad. I was a child. I didn't earn any money. I don't know what you want.
You brought me into the world.
Not to be going out for meals every week.
So the Natalie ... came.
And it's just the way you responded yes immediately. I was typing an explanation to try and justify it, and you'd already said yes.
I was like,
and that made me think, I literally said to myself, like, Natalie is just another breed of human, because you don't know, what if it was a bad thing?
I trust you.
I'm glad you trust me that much, but it also just made me laugh.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't be like that with anybody. With most of the people, I'd be like,
all my friends are just so like, I always think that you guys are so like
up for it.
No, like you are quite all meticulous in your own lives, but when I ask you stuff, you're just like, fuck it, yeah, whatever, come on, let's do it. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on? You don't even know what I'm using it for, and you're just like, yeah, sure, whatever.
I trust you.
It's because I was listening to that How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days clip, and it was just too funny.
Which one?
Funny. The one where you're like, sleep with a guy and then agree that it will be casual. Oh man, those clips
agree that it will be casual, but then be furious when it is casual.
Because that is literally, I thought about it, that's basically what all my sad songs are about.
Yeah.
There is no depth there. I'm just upset because they are doing what they said they would.
What I told them to do. Go ahead and do it. See if I care. You want to sleep with a pig? I welcome you sleeping with. I want you to, actually, because I don't want you getting too attached to me. Oh, who am I? What am I thinking? If I ever am romantically involved with anybody again, I just have to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
That is the moral of this story. Like, do not go fucking around with other women. I don't want that. I want something very real. I want something stable. I want something safe, fun, spontaneous. I want it all, and I deserve it all.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm none of this casual shit.
But whenever you say that to someone and you meet someone who agrees, they never. I'm sure it's not related.
What?
That you're just like, I don't really.
Yeah, no, of course, yeah. Well, then I'm like,
I've also been thinking, when you meet someone and you really get, I know, La Fou, I'm afraid I've been thinking. A dangerous
pastime, I know.
I promised myself, no, stop it.
How can you promise?
How can you promise yourself you're going to be married to somebody else? Like, are you okay, sir? How can you promise that?
Have you seen Gaston? No, he's not okay. He's on some serious steroids.
Okay, hear me out. Another live action Beauty and the Beast. And The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is Gaston. Imagine Dwayne The Rock Johnson in a wig down to his thighs. I would like to see it.
Gaston's hair isn't even that long, but in this one, he's going to have luscious long locks.
He had in my mind, he had like a 24-inch ponytail. How was his hair? I don't know.
It's very small ponytail.
Who plays Gaston in the live action Beauty and the Beast? I don't think they did that justice.
Somebody or other. Can't remember what his name is, but he was he's the man in The Hobbit. No.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm thinking of The Hobbit. That's who I loved.
Oh my god, I love. Which one?
The
Aidan Turner.
Hobbit. Yeah.
Oh,
I love him.
No. He's not the main Hobbit.
He's not the main Hobbit.
No, the main Hobbit was Martin Freeman, who's Bilbo.
Is that the guy who I like? That's
everybody loves him. But then Aidan Turner is also one of the dwarves, not hobbits, the dwarves.
Oh,
and he's
Aidan
the one that
Turner.
And he falls in love with the elf, but then he dies.
He was in that Being Human show, which is
don't even.
That show was. Didn't they cancel that show?
So, they got rid of the original 3. And then they were like,
why?
Did
they all leave because they were doing bigger projects?
Character, he just. Well, I can't remember what happens. He just went really rogue. But when him and the ghost are in love,
oh man, I might rewatch that.
That was such a good show.
That was an amazing show.
Yeah,
and I love all the actors. Like the main 3, I love them. They've all just been in such good
brilliant. Yeah.
Bring back the original cast of Being Human. How about that?
No, the cast that followed it were not bad. Like they didn't replace the characters. They just introduced new ones. But they were okay still as well. Like the vampire was still hot. But I think it's just because it was a vampire.
I don't want any old hot. Okay. Okay, the new 3, I respect that.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I thought about it.
It's not as good as...
It's never going to be as good. Don't ever do that. Yeah. That guy is always the same character, but he's probably not. I just always feel he is.
Aidan Turner?
No, the one in the new Being Human who was in... I think he was in Misfits.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
No, I feel like Aidan Turner's got a good CV.
I mean, it's mostly period dramas. Can't think of anything modern he's been in apart from Being Human, where he's an actual vampire. So that doesn't count because that's a period drama in itself because it's a character that's literally been alive for centuries.
Yeah.
So,
True.
yeah. Anyway, what are we going to watch next week?
Well, we're down to watch Save the Last Dance, but I need longer before I can watch Save the Last Dance. I'm not in the mood to watch that right now, and I don't want to just watch it because I have to watch it. I want to watch it because it's like enjoyable.
Yeah.
Whereas right now, I feel like these films that I feel like I'm watching them because I have to watch. It's a bit of a chore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you watching anyway? And then I'll just watch it. With what?
Don't have.
You felt like that with this one, Josie?
I think it's because I'd left it quite late to watch it,
and
it was such a scramble to watch it, and then it just wasn't. It was like,
Whereas if I was just watching it anyway, I think that would be more enjoyable.
Like WandaVision, yeah.
Yeah. What are you watching at the moment? I can't remember. You just told me I'll watch something that you just said.
I don't think Leonardo is really worth an episode.
An episode?
Yeah.
And like Josie and the Pussycat.
I know, right?
Do you want to do I was going to say Enchanted Young Women. Oh my god, I'm watching that film.
Well, tell me about it because I'm not. I already know what's going to happen. Enchanted. Oh, Promising Young Woman. Yeah, should we do that? Yeah. I'll just try and watch it maybe on a Friday or Saturday rather than right before.
Will I watch it?
Oh shit. We don't need to discuss this on air, but I'll tell you now because I'm not here next weekend. So we need to think about when we'll record.
Okay, we're not talking about now. We could have a week off. Summer holidays.
Oh yeah. Or little Easter holidays, half term. Something.
But I'm also I can record whatever. It's not like I'm not saying I don't want to do it in case you do. But yeah. Because I was also thinking about that. We should probably have we could do like
a season 2 finale show.
No, because season 2 can't end until our Christmas break, and I feel like that's years away. Or unless you wanted to do it before. What?
As in Christmas break. That's what
like when we take
it's gonna be.
Is it not?
I don't know. I just feel like that's
I figured we'd take time off in between, like the summer holiday break. But I thought it'd still be season 2.
Yeah.
Look how much we plan the pod on the pod. I don't even care anymore.
Yeah. Whatever.
We'll have to have a summer holiday at some point. We could also just record like a short episode. Do you know what I really want to do an episode on, which is ridiculous? Literally just the pilot episode of Once Upon a Time.
Oh, why don't we do that?
Or I was thinking we could do one on the final ever season finale of Game of Thrones, because it was so bad.
We had a lot to say.
I still have so much to say. But yeah, we could do the pilot episode of Once Upon a Time.
That's quite cute. I've not watched it in years.
The pilot episode is terrible.
It's kind of probably makes you think, why did you
so bad? Why did you
yeah, why am I about to invest years of my life?
Like, this is awful. Okay, I'm going to watch it for 7 seasons.
I'm sold.
This is a bit of me.
Cool. Sounds good. And that's probably then what we'll just kick up. I'll watch the pilot, and then I'll be like,
yeah, don't
keep watching, and then
7 episodes.
Yeah. Sure, that's yeah. Okay.
Or we could do like the Red Wedding. I'm just thinking of what could we watch and just do like one episode that's big enough to just have it. Yeah. Or we could have a holiday. We'll do Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the rest off air.
Yeah.
Viewers, it's been real. Or listeners, more likely listeners.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we've done 2 hours. Jesus.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like,
sorry, guys.
Wrap this up. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. We said a whole lot of nothing.
Not talking
about.
What did
we even talk about? I can't remember this episode. I
don't think that this will go down as one of our finest episodes.
No, this guys, isn't dud.
Last week was definitely one of my favourites.
Definitely. I'm not going to listen to this week's.
No, it's not worth it.
No. Maybe in like a year when I'm washing the dishes, but not now.
Yeah.
But guys, thank you for listening. Thank you so much.
And if you got to this far, then really sorry we didn't give you a spoiler alert at the beginning of this episode. We didn't know it was going to be so terrible.
Oh, yeah, true. I might put it in the bio. You might want to skip this one, love.
Yeah,
It's
do
terrible.
us a favour and don't listen to it. Or maybe we put timestamps because there are some gems, I think, some funnies.
Yeah, but then I'll have to listen to it to find the gems.
So
Anywho,
true.
yeah, we need to go because I actually need to talk to you offline. Guys, we have things to do. Okay.
Okie dokie. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Wait. Oh my god, yes! Rewind